In this video, I'm going to rank the ultimate artifacts from Heroes of Might and Magic 2. It's kind of late to do this, but, better late than never. This is going to be super short. The first ones are the Ultimate Wand, Spellbook, Sword, and Cloak, which give plus 12 to spell power, knowledge, attack, or defense. So this is kind of interesting. So the question here is, which primary skill is more important, and which one gives you, let's say, diminishing returns in time, or something like that, or is there even such a thing? Well, here we go. Well, I would say spell power, it affects how much damage a damaging spell deals, but also the duration of some spells, like Bless, for example. But the thing is, there is some diminishing returns when it comes to spell power, right? Because how many turns do you need a Bless to last? Or a Blind, or something like that? I mean, do you need more than 8, or something like that? I'm not sure. But when it comes to the damaging spells, you can't get enough spell power. I have enough. There's no way. You would always accept dealing way more damage with all your chain lightnings or meteor showers or stuff like that, obviously. So spell power is pretty good. However, knowledge, this is the question here. Knowledge, how important is it? Well, I'd say knowledge is not going to help you that much after a certain point. Like if you have, let's say, 10 knowledge already, if you're a magic hero like, I don't know, wizard, warlock, stuff like that, after 10 knowledge, unless you have a dimension door that you spam all the time, but also you would need a ton of movement, after 10 knowledge, more knowledge is not going to really be that much of a game changer. Like if I go from 100 mana to 220 with this ultimate spellbook added, I don't think that's going to help me out that much. But going from, 10 spell power to 22 spell power, that's insane, man. That's insane. So I would say already, because of this, I'd say the wand is probably an S, and the book must be relatively lower. Obviously, this is in the context of only ranking ultimate artifacts between each other, because compared to all the normal artifacts, all of these are in their own S plus category, let's say, right? But within that category, this is the ranking, I would say. So anyway, ultimate 1 plus 12 spell power, super strong. Now here, the other problem with knowledge would be that it depends on the timing of you finding it, right? Because these artifacts, you can dig them up if you found obelisks, or if you get super unlucky and you dig randomly, or send a search party or something like that, and if you know the general area. But it's a race against the other players, right, to get it. The issue is, if you're surrounded by enemies, let's say, because you're in that area with the artifact and everybody's searching, and you find the artifact, if you get 12 spell power, everybody's deterred, right? I mean, they can't know, but anyway, you kind of destroy them, right? If you get more spell power, even it doesn't matter who you are. If you're a barbarian, if you have 2 knowledge or something like that, you still benefit a ton from it, provided that you at least have a spell book or a magic arrow or something like that. 12 spell power is incredible. Anything you cast, the blind is going to be seemingly endless. It's super strong right from the get-go. Immediate effect. Knowledge, on the other hand, you might still lose, right? If you're surrounded by enemies, I get 12 more knowledge. So I have 3 spell power, 4 spell power, or something like that, or 2 attack, and it's not that significant. It's not. If you are kind of isolated, or you find it first and there's nobody's near, that's great, because you can use it for sure. But it's not gonna save you too much. It's not that significant of an effect. Not as much as the other ones. Anyway, the 12 attack, this should be an S as well, because honestly, this is one of those artifacts that you can't get enough of. I've never thought about this. I've never had this thought, I have enough attack. There's no such thing. I mean, the cap is so high. Like, I think it's the most bonus damage you could deal in Heroes 2 is 300% more, I think. So that means that you need to have 30 more attack than the enemy's defense. Do you imagine how hard that is? Even if you attack with a Black Dragon against the Peasant, how likely would it be for you to have 30 more attack or something like that? So I don't think, most of the time you would benefit from 12 attack, which is going to be insane. Because if you have already some bonus damage going on, like you deal, let's say, 30% more damage, with this you deal 150% more damage instead. That's insane. Also, if you have some damage reduction going on, you go into bonus damage for almost for sure, because the cap on the other side, when it comes to reduced damage, the cap is minus 70% damage reduction, meaning that, or minus 70% damage, meaning that after 14 more defense than the attacker's attack skill, you don't get more of a benefit. So that means that even in that worst case scenario, you have the worst possible damage reduction whenever you're attacking somebody. If you add this artifact plus 12 attack, you go from minus 70% to minus 10%, which is insane. That's insane. You just negate all that, right? Imagine you break pretty much everything. The worst knight you will ever face that has a ton of defense, you break their damage reduction for sure. So this is super significant, and I would say it might be so 12 is so significant that in this particular scenario, I would say attack actually goes in front of spell power, because this one, everybody can benefit from it. Spell power kind of depends. If you really don't have knowledge, you don't have spells at that time, I don't know. But still, depends on the timing of finding these. And defense as well, plus 12 defense, same thing. If the enemy attacks you, you reduce their bonus damage by 120% max, right? Or they go from bonus damage to reduced damage, probably on average. So anyway, this is less significant, I would say. I kind of prefer the attack because I have more control over who's going to be the target and stuff like that, but it's still super strong. So I'd say in this case, having so much extra skill puts attack and defense above spell power, honestly, because everybody could benefit from these. The spell power has a few requirements, unfortunately, but these you instantly benefit from them for sure. Anyway, then we have the combined ones, the ultimate shield and ultimate staff. So this is plus 6 attack and defense and plus 6 spell power and knowledge. Now, this is interesting because this could be I could see the reverse logic here in a sense, because having plus 6 spell power and knowledge definitely enables everybody to use spells very effectively. The only requirement is to actually have the spells at the time of discovery if you're surrounded. But if you're not, you have time to get the spells. And also, you probably would need at some point to get wisdom if you don't have it on a barbarian or a knight, but still. However, plus 6 in defense, unfortunately, these don't synergize necessarily, because you can only benefit from one at a time, right? So if somebody attacks me, I benefit from the defense, and then my retaliation is going to have more attack. But it's not like you have it's more significant to have plus 12 attack or plus 12 defense as opposed to having just a plus 6 and plus 6, I would say. So anyway, that's what I've seen anyway. So I'd say the ultimate staff is actually better. It's better than the having so much more knowledge. 6 knowledge is pretty good. Everybody could benefit from that. But 12 is kind of overkill for sure. So this is pretty good. I would say even an S. Why not? Even though, let's nitpick, because everybody's an S technically against the normal artifact. So let's say A here, and the plus 6 one, plus 6 attack and plus 6 defense, let's say lower, but still A. All right. Then the ultimate crown, plus 4 to all primary skills. So we've seen this in the original campaign, of course. And this, honestly, well, if the enemies are super strong like in that campaign, it doesn't seem like it's so strong. But obviously, in a normal campaign, in a normal map, dude, 4 to all primary skills, that means 4 attack, 4 defense, 4 spell power, and 4 knowledge. So it combines, it's lesser than these two, but it's combining them a little, somewhat, So that's ultra strong. Obviously, that's insane. That's like visiting 4 Xanadus at once. So that's insane. I would say this is actually an S, lower than these other ones. I'd say, 4 knowledge and 4 spell power, plus the attack and plus all that. Could it be even more significant than plus 12 spell power altogether? It's debatable. It depends who you are, obviously. But because most people can benefit from this, and the spell power, you need knowledge, you need the spells, you need all that. This one, at least, kind of interesting. Well. Maybe, let's put it above. I like 4 attack and 4 of everything. Seems pretty good to me. Alright, we might just have to lower these a little bit, just because. Let's just say, just to nitpick a bit more, maybe like this. Something like that. Just 12 spell power and 12 knowledge seem like they could be overkill a little bit. It's really debatable here, I would say, but this seems pretty okay. Anyway, then the Golden Goose gives you 10,000 gold each day. This is insane. This is so good. Obviously, if you find this one and you run away from the enemies and you just farm this gold, you kind of win the game at that point. Unless you don't have growth, unless you are super outnumbered, like you have 1 castle and the enemies have, 3 castles each player, then at some point you don't have anything to do with that money. But, that's kind of ridiculous anyway. So, Golden Goose, super strong. Obviously, it won't help you win a battle. Like if you, you're surrounded by enemies, you dig up the Golden Goose, you're not going to win anything. So, yeah. you're just going to lose it very quickly. But anyway, this I would say it's an S plus for sure, because this enables pretty much everything. If you find it, if you use it to gather a ton of gold, eventually you surpass the enemies for sure. Even if you have worse stats, if you have enough of an army, if you buy everything, I think that's going to be super significant. Also, you buy all the mage guilds because you can transfer, in the worst case scenario, you transfer the money for valuable resources and stuff like that. It enables everything in the game. I would say Golden Goose is insane. So I'd say this is this kind of makes sense. Even though I go back and forth between the crown and the spell power, like 12, maybe this makes more sense. Who knows? But anyway, just kind of there, like A plus for sure for these two artifacts. What do you think about this tier list? Did I get it? Did I make an obvious mistake? Let me know in the comments. All right, I'll see you next time.